Hi guys, welcome back. And today we are gonna have a little vlog. So something really fun is happening tonight. I'm going out to a steakhouse with a couple coworkers because coincidentally enough, I am very close friends with three of my coworkers, and it was this past week. It was my birthday, it was one of my other coworkers' birthday, and it was my other coworker's wife's birthday. So since we had so many birthdays in the family this week, we are treating ourselves. We're going to this really nice steakhouse that's around an hour away, and because I, one, don't go out to eat that much, and I'm also a homebody, it's very rare that I get dressed up and get ready to go out. So today we're gonna vlog a little get ready with me, just prepping to go out. So it is currently 2:30 p.m. I know I have to be at my one friend's house at 4:30 p.m. and I think they're about 20 minutes to 30 minutes away. So I have a good hour and a half to get ready. But I am a person who's chronically early. I am super early to everything. But I feel like what happens most of the time is I get ready really early and then I'm like, wait, I'm too early, so let me delay a little bit, and then I end up being a couple minutes late because I overestimate how early I was in the first place. But anyways, the first thing we're doing is I have these little things, these little pedicure tools in my finger. I'm going to touch up my toe nail polish. Not going to show you that, but I am going to touch up my toes because I'm wearing heels tonight, so we always gotta have our toes painted. This is literally such a weird freaking angle. I'm on my bathroom floor putting the things in between my toes. That way I can paint them. And we've got our little white nail polish because it's always gotta be white. But basically where we're going tonight is I think literally one of the most top rated steakhouses in New Jersey. It is called the Butcher's Block, which I believe their parent company, or what they're known for, is the Butcher's Box, which is kind of a company that you can order freshly sliced steaks and meats from. That's even more fresh than a grocery store or a farmer's market. So I think that's what they're known for. So obviously their steak and meats and stuff at their restaurant are also super popular and well known. And I'm very excited because if you didn't know, I was literally vegetarian for the first 21 years of my life. So I literally started eating meat around my 21st birthday, which was a year ago today. So I feel because I was vegetarian for so long, I missed out on or not missed out, but I'm late to the game with so many restaurants and so many different kinds of food, because a lot of people would who eat meat grew up eating different kinds of restaurants with their parents, or their parents would just cook steak and stuff. But obviously since I didn't have that, I feel I'm just now getting to dive into the world of meat and experience so many things. So anytime I get to go out to a restaurant to eat is super exciting for me, because I get to try all these foods and all these exquisite things that I haven't before. And also because I started eating meat mainly for the protein content and for the gym and the bodybuilding experience, I also have only really gotten to eat meat that I've cooked myself. And I will say, I have perfected my meat. I can now cook chicken and ground beef and a little bit of steak sometimes. I do know how to do it, but obviously it's not the same as eating it when it's freshly prepared by a chef at a restaurant. So just makes it even more exciting for me. Also, my calves are cramping up when I'm doing this. My calves are cramping too much from how I was squatting. I will say I have very big and strong calves. Just growing up doing dance, gymnastics, and genetics, obviously I've just always had really big calves. But the weirdest thing that I experienced was after my first show, or not my first show, after my second show, I thought I was recovering so well, but for the first week or two post show, I kept waking up in the middle of the night with those god awful freaking Charlie horse calf cramps, because I guess my calves were just so beat up from being in heels all the time and posing all the time that my body was finally giving out. So that was rough. So my calves are still so sensitive all the time. But anyways, I just painted my toes, and I'm gonna keep the little like pedicure tools in probably as I'm getting ready, just so they can fully dry, because my worst pet peeve is when I smudge nail polish everywhere. Okay, now I'm in the kitchen because I need to do some dishes and clean up a little bit. I did meal prep a little bit before. I just made a buttload of chicken and a buttload of rice, which looks like it's gonna feed an army, but will literally probably last me around 48 hours. Okay, so I'm going to do the dishes and then also make a little coffee, because before I started vlogging, I was literally laying in bed and I thought I was gonna fall asleep, and I was like, I need to get the fuck up and get ready or else I'm gonna be late. So I need a little coffee to wake up. And also, if you can hear, my throat is just like a little bit scratchy, so I don't know what that's going on. I mean, so I was sick a little bit last week and I had like a very like minimal sore throat, and I was completely fine this past week, but I woke up today again and my throat was just like so dry. So I need a hot coffee right now just to kind of like soothe that. I'm getting ready to make my coffee, so if you hear that, that's just my Nespresso machine heating up. Oh my god. One thing about me is I hate having a messy environment, so my kitchen always has to be super clean, but because I just meal prepped, there is a little bit of just like stickiness that's like I feel. So let's pick our Nespresso pod for today. Let's go with this one. Looks good. It is the Cafe Romano, I'm gonna butcher this, Lungo Taviri. I have no idea what that means. One thing about me is I love coffee, but I'm not a coffee connoisseur by any means. So me picking my coffee flavors and intensities is purely just based on vibes. Stick my little pot in and fill her up. Another thing about me, even though I learned to enjoy my coffee black during prep, and I was forced to a lot of times during peak week when we like cut out artificial sweeteners, I can drink it black, but I will always opt for a sweeter coffee. I'm such a sweet tooth girl. So I'm putting in one of these 0-calorie sweetener packets from ShopRite. I like these better than like the stevia or like the monk fruit because I do love aspartame. Like I do think the taste of aspartame is so much better than monk fruit, unfortunately. And then I put in my Skinny Mixes 0-cal dark chocolate espresso 0-calorie syrup. So we got a lot of sweetness going on here. And now I'm just frothing her up with my little electric whisk, and it's nice and dark. It's also very hot. Like, I personally am always cold, so I don't mind drinking a hot coffee in like 90-degree weather, but the fact that it's 90 degrees outside and it's also 90 degrees in my coffee cup isn't helping it cool down whatsoever. Let's give her a little taste. Perfect, and the perfect temperature to kind of soothe my throat. So now we're gonna go and move into the bathroom so we can start getting ready. Okay, now we're in my bathroom, and I feel like this is a big debate when getting ready, or like that I always see on like TikTok and stuff, which is what order to do hair and makeup outfit. Me personally, I always think the right answer is makeup first, then hair, and then outfit, because I'm not trying to get my outfit all dirty when I'm doing makeup and hair. And also when my hair is done, I just feel like it's always like in my way. Like when my hair is done, like I just always feel like suffocated by it. So when I'm doing my makeup, I want to not think about my hair being done. I want it to be like tied back and out of my way, like so gross. That way I can do my makeup first, then I can worry about my hair, and then put the outfit on. So my hair is already tied back in this little knot from like when I showered, and I'm just putting on this fluffy pink headband to get all these flyaways and frizz even more out of my way. And another thing about me is that I literally never wear makeup, and not even in like a weird like pick-me way. I just like personally don't like how I look with makeup on, so I'm never wearing makeup on the day-to-day basis. Even for a lot of formal events, I'm just like freaking lazy, so I don't put any makeup on, but today we're feeling it. We're going to such a nice steakhouse. I never go out, I never do drinks, anything, so might as well for the special occasion. So I guess I'll also be showing you guys my little like kind of staple go-to makeup routine whenever I'm going anywhere. I did do my own like bodybuilding makeup and everything like that, so makeup is something I really enjoy doing. but when I'm wearing makeup, like whether it's day to day for an event, it typically ends up being the same exact routine because it just keeps it simple, like the little things that enhance my features rather than cover them up. Don't really need to go too overboard or anything. I'm starting with my favorite primer ever. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and this is the pink one, which has 4% niacinamide, which I don't know if it makes a huge difference between the niacinamide one versus the one without, but because I have acne and some slight skin issues, I like this just because I feel like it gives me a little extra benefit. So I'll just do little pumps underneath my eyes mainly, a little bit on my forehead and my chin. And then I kind of like tap it in, that way that grippiness sticks all over. I also feel like I can't go too crazy with like skin makeup or like my base makeup today because I'm like, if you see, I have some little like tan lines. So I'm a couple shades darker than I usually am. So I don't know how well like my like skin makeup is going to actually look on my skin right now. I do have my bodybuilding makeup, but that's like really dark. Like I'm not bodybuilding tan, but I'm definitely tanner than I usually am. So now I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, the tried and true since like 2016 makeup era. And I am in the shade medium. And I'm just going to go in under my eyes mainly, and maybe a little bit on my like acne scars, but mostly just for my eye bags. Just tapping this in, and I'm going to go like inside and upward. That way it's kind of like lifting my face up a little more. See, I do feel like it's like a shade or two light. Like it does not look like my skin right now. But we're going to ignore that and just keep blending it until it does match my skin. So if you're not familiar with makeup, rule of thumb is that pressed powders are for blurring and loose powders are for setting. Start with our sponge and our pressed powder. That way we can kind of blur all the fine lines, anything that's going on, and then we'll set it with our loose powder. So I only did my pressed powder wherever I put concealer, which was literally just under my eyes. But I am going to do loose powder everywhere just because like with how hot it is and I have a little bit of oiliness in my skin, I just want to set everything so I'm not looking like a grease ball. So I'm going to start with this just tiny brush. This is from the brand BH Cosmetics, the number 5 brush. And oh, I didn't even say, my pressed powder was the Maybelline Fit Me in color Pure Beige. And my loose powder is the CoverGirl Clean Invisible in Translucent Light. And then I'm going to use my big fluffy brush, which is the BH Cosmetics number 1. And I'm going to put a little bit of loose powder just all over my face just to get rid of any greasiness, kind of make me all one skin tone. Next, we're going to move on to brows. So I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics 24-hour brow setter, and shout out to my mom and dad. I have very thick eyebrows naturally, so I never fill them in or do anything. I literally just like keep them groomed with like a tweezer and like an eyebrow razor, and then I use a clear brow gel just to stick them in place. Especially because they're thick, they tend to move around a lot, so I'm just using like very little clear brow gel. Eyebrows are done, and now we have my favorite part, probably because I love the color pink, but I freaking love blush. I probably have blush blindness because I feel like sometimes I go way too overboard, but it's just so much fun. So I'm using the Revolution Makeup blush, I think this is called the Blush Bomb or something. Yeah, it's Blush Bomb, and this is in the shade Savage Coral. This shit is like rare beauty dupe. It is so pigmented. You have to do a littlest bit. It goes such a long way, or else you're gonna overdo it. So we always start with a teeny tiny bit. I like scrape off like literally most of the product. Use my Wet n Wild blush brush, and we're gonna blend upwards my cheekbones. Same thing, keep the face nice and lifted. So now that we have just the littlest tint of pink, we're gonna set our liquid blush with a powder blush. And this is the NARS powder blush in the color Tempted. So it's a very similar like light peachy color. And I just do a couple taps of this along my cheeks to make it even more pink and to set the liquid blush in place. Like I said, we're literally almost done with this makeup routine. For eyes, we're keeping it super simple. I'm going to curl my lashes first because I do have pretty long eyelashes, but they do tend to lay straight. So curling them makes all the difference. I'm going to do a little bit of black eyeliner along my waterline. I love eyeliner along the waterline, especially because I have very dark, big eyes. I feel like a little bit of color there just helps bring out my eyes all the more. Like, this is my eye with a waterline, and this is my eye without. It made all the difference in the world. Really, our final step for the eyes is just mascara. So I do mascara only on the top lash line because I feel like if I do it on the bottom lash line, that's where you start to get like the spider look. But just to lengthen a little bit, add a little more depth, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Paris Double Extend Tubing Mascara. One of my favorites. I love tubing mascara. And I'm just going to do one coat on my top lashes for both. And just a couple finishing touches here. I'm using the NYX Jumbo, I think, multi-use face stick, or like the highlighter stick, in the color Flan. And just to add a little bit of shimmer back onto the tip of my nose and the inner corners of my eyes. And then our holy grail, which you need, is the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second Setting Mist. It literally is going to feel like hairspray. It's going to feel like you're gluing your face shut, but your makeup is not going to budge all day. My makeup did not move for 2 bodybuilding competitions for 10-hour days. I was sweating, I was stressed, nothing. This shit will not budge. You know when like the smell of something like evokes nostalgia or like a memory in you? That setting spray reminds me of both my bodybuilding shows. So when I like smelled that, it was like so much nostalgia. Just like that, we are done with our super simple makeup look for today. Like I said, I'm literally doing nothing crazy. Only thing I have left to do is my lips. I'm just waiting on that because I'm still drinking my coffee and my water. But literally the easiest, most simple 3-step makeup routine, just to add a little bit of color, a little bit of depth to the face, and feel a little dressed up for a nice dinner. Next step is going to be our hair. I was considering washing my hair today and wearing it out natural and curly, but it's literally been so humid. Like, we've had a heat wave and then we had a bunch of thunderstorms, so I didn't want to take the risk of like doing my hair all nice just for it to like puff up. So we are going to do some kind of slick back. I'm thinking just a little slick back ponytail into 2 braids, but I'm not 100% sure, so I am going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to come back onto screen. Okay, so for my hair, I wanted it to, even though it's a slick back, I wanted it to be a little cuter, a little more fun than how I look every single day at work and at the gym. So I just did a little slick back pony into 2 braids instead of 1, so she's a little creative. And now we are going to head to my closet to pick out an outfit. So now that we are stood in my closet, I have a couple different options for what I can wear. First, I'm thinking this little top, which has a matching skirt, or I'm thinking the literal same exact thing I wore to my birthday party with my friends, which was just a little white skirt and a tube top. So I'm going to try both of these on and see, which one looks cute and which one still fits my post bodybuilding prep body. So unfortunately, one of the cons of bodybuilding is that since your body is constantly changing and you're losing and gaining so much weight, my clothes never fit right. So I am wearing the exact same birthday outfit I wore like 3 nights ago with my friends. I'm not mad about it because I think it's super cute. So let me show you the little fit. So I have on this cute little white tennis skirt. So it is a tennis skirt, which is why it fits my body better, because athletic wear just always fits better. But it doesn't look that bad. I feel like it doesn't look super athletic. It looks kind of cute and formal. Then this little pink floral tube top. So it does have some little white flowers on the baby pink, so the color blocking is there. I have these white kitten heels, which I literally got off of Amazon for sorority recruitment 2 years ago. My leather jacket is coming with me just to dress it up a little bit, and because I'm always cold. And we have our little Louis Vuitton bag. So this is the finished look. I am loving it so far. And now we have what I call my mogging hour, 15 to 20 minutes before any event, to take pictures of myself and make TikToks, because I am that annoying person. So now that I'm all ready for my night and I'm just waiting for my ride, I want to talk about one of the most important things of the whole night, which is going to be enjoying myself. So whether or not you're a bodybuilder or just regular gym rat or just someone trying to be healthy for life, I feel like one of the biggest things is going out, vacations, eating out, drinking out, how to enjoy yourself while still being on track. The biggest key takeaway to that, I think, is just controlling what you can control. You can't control what they put in the food at the restaurant or what they put in your drink, but you can control everything you ate before. You can control doing your cardio in the morning or getting your workout in. So being sure to check off all your boxes day in and day out. That way, a one night occurrence of you going out or a 1 week vacation or one drink out at a bar isn't going to change you, or it isn't going to throw all your progress off track. A line that I really like and that I like to use for people is stressing over eating something unhealthy is far unhealthier than the food itself. And basically, what that means to me is that if I were to stress over all the food I was eating tonight or all the drinks I was going to be drinking, that stress is far worse for my cortisol and my brain and probably my water retention than the actual food I ate. Whereas if I just eat a piece of bread or if I drink one drink and then just accept it as it is, move on, and wake up the next day and go right back to my plan, that's not going to do anything for me. Maybe cause a little bit of water retention because I ate a little extra carbs, but in the end of the day, it's not going to affect my health in any way. So I am going to enjoy myself to the fullest, and I'm going to have the best night ever, and take that as a reminder to you to enjoy your life and stick to your plans, stick to your goals, but still don't let that get in the way of being a human being and enjoying your life, experiences, making memories with friends and family. Also, the other great thing about bodybuilding is getting to look like an absolute linebacker when you wear a tube top. My veins have been absolutely crazy and my shoulders are feeling big as fuck. Now that I'm done getting ready, I'm waiting for my friend to pick me up and we're gonna head over. I'll have lots of pictures and videos on my Instagram, but thank you guys so much for watching and I can't wait to see you next time.